Welcome back to This, That, and the Other. On this date, June the 26th, 1948, U.S. and British pilots began delivering food and supplies by airplane to Berlin after the city is isolated by a Soviet Union blockade. When World War II ended in 1945, defeated Germany was divided into Soviet, American, British, and French zones of occupation. The city of Berlin, though located within the Soviet zone of occupation, was also split into four sectors, with the Allies taking the western part of the city and the Soviets the eastern. In June 1948, Joseph Stalin's government attempted to consolidate control of the city by cutting off all land and sea routes to West Berlin in order to pressure the Allies to evacuate. As a result, beginning on June the 24th, the western section of Berlin and its 2 million people were deprived of food, heating fuel, and other crucial supplies. Deja vu, huh? Though some U.S. President Harry S. Truman's administration called for direct military response to this aggressive Soviet move, Truman worried such a response would trigger another world war. Instead, he authorized a massive airlift operation under the control of General Lucius D. Clay, the American-appointed military governor of Germany. The first planes took off from England and Western Germany on June the 26th, loaded with food, clothing, water, medicine, and fuel. At the beginning of the operation, the planes delivered about 5,000 tons of supplies to West Berlin. Every day by the end, those loads had increased to about 8,000 tons of supplies per day. The Allies carried about 2.3 million tons of cargo in all over a course of the airlift. The massive scale of the airlift made it a huge logistical challenge and at times a great risk, with planes landing at Tempelhof Airport every 4 minutes round the clock. Pilots were being asked to fly 2 or more round-trip flights every day in World War II planes that were sometimes in need of repair. The Soviets lifted the blockade in May 1949, having earned the scorn of the international community for subjecting innocent men, women, and children to hardship and starvation. The airlift, called Die Luftbrücke, or the air bridge in German, continued until September 1949 at a total cost of over $224 million. When it ended, the eastern section of Berlin was absorbed into the Soviet East Germany, while West Berlin remained a separate territory with its own government and close ties to West Germany. The Berlin Wall was built in 1961, formed a dividing line between East and West Berlin. Its destruction in 1989 presaged the 1991 collapse of the Soviet Union and marked the end of an era and the reemergence of Berlin as the capital of a new unified German nation. So, let's see what else we can find today on this day in history. Just a second here, I'm trying to find this information. Okay, sorry about that. Alright, this day in history, 2003, Lawrence versus Texas is decided. 2015, same-sex marriage is made legal nationwide, with Obergefell versus Hodges decision. In 1862, rebels strike Union at the Battle of Mechanicsville. In 1959, St. Louis Seaway is opened. In 1993, President Clinton punishes Iraq for plot to kill George H.W. Bush. In 1945, UN Charter is signed. In 2003, former U.S. Senator Strom Thurmond dies. In 1541, Francisco Pizarro, conqueror of the Incas, is assassinated. In 1917, first U.S. troops arrive in France. In 1844, President John Tyler weds his second wife. In 1963, John F. Kennedy claims solidarity with the people of Berlin. In 1975, Sonny and Cher's divorce becomes final. In 1807, lightning strikes gunpowder factory in Luxembourg, killing hundreds. In 1957, a serial killer preys upon a woman out for a drive. In 1948, Berlin airlift begins. And in 1956, Congress approves Federal Highways Act. So this has been This Day in History. Please like and subscribe, and we will see you all the next time around. Godspeed. Fair winds following seas. Thank you.